Good afternoon. Now that the hour of 5 o'clock has arrived, the meeting for the Public Safety and Licensing Committee for Racine, Wisconsin is now officially called to order. Our first order of business is the approval of the minutes of January 8th, 2024 meeting. Do I have a motion and a second?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion on the item? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Our next item on the agenda is item number 1078-23, subject communication sponsored by myself, Alder Peak, submitting an application for a Class B retail fermented malt beverage and intoxicating liquor license for Select LLC DBA Select, which is located at 1111 Washington Avenue, Natasha Evans, Agent, First District. Recommendation of the Public Safety and Licensing Committee on November 27th of 2023 that the item be deferred. May the applicant, Ms. Evans, please come up. Thank you. Attorney New will now swear you in, please.
Do you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you? Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Evans. Could you explain to us what you're going to do with your business and the license today? That's why you're here. We'd like to get some more information on what you plan on doing with the establishment if you get the license.
Well, I plan on making it into a 30 and older lounge. I had someone came out and give me some estimates because I do want to get a kitchen and some remodeling done. So he came out and gave me estimates on how much it would be to do the kitchen and the remodeling.
Is there any other information that you'd like to share with us or tell us about your operation, your experience in this type of business, how you plan on managing day-to-day operations?
I currently don't have any experience, but I have hired, I work with a consulting group, Fair Exchange Business Solutions, that's been very helpful, and that's going to help me with this process, as well as my sister-in-law, she is an experienced bartender, so she will be the manager.
Will she be a part of the ownership, or she's on the license, or?
No, she would just be working.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that you have some construction people coming out. So that suggests that there's going, and I think we spoke about before, some remodeling going. And I'm trying to get to, you're going to have permits from both the health department, et cetera, probably planning and zoning. Is that true?
Correct.
And when do you plan on actually opening the business?
Well, the remodeling, he said it would take approximately about 3 to 6 months, but that's for the kitchen. To remodel the front part of the bar, like put new flooring and things down of that sort, that won't take long at all. It's just the kitchen, he said, will take approximately about 3 to 6 months.
Okay. Are there any questions from the committee?
I'd like to hear from the police department and city attorneys first with the good neighbors.
Okay.
So the Good Neighbor report is attached to the agenda, but I can quickly summarize the issue that we discussed. So Ms. Evans talked about her experience. It looks like she does own and operate a Guardian Angels home, right, an adult youth home. So she would be doing that in addition to managing this business here. The building renovations, so as the kitchen is part of the licensed premise, she's asking for that to be, you know, the bar and the kitchen area. All of that has to be done before you can actually get your license. So even if you finish the bar, if your kitchen is part of the licensed premise, which it is right now, you can't start operating and you won't have a license until the kitchen portion is done as well. Well, I went and amended my application and took the kitchen off.
We did see an amended version.
Okay. I did not see that.
It was just scratch out of the areas that were.
Okay, so, let me just double check to see if there's an accurate map in here. Okay, so everything will be the same except minus the kitchen, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, So if the committee approves that amendment, then as soon as the bar portion is signed off on by the building and the health department, then she can start operating. If you remodel the kitchen later on and you get all the permits ready and you wanted to add that as part of your licensed premise and start operating and using the kitchen, you would have to file an amendment, come back in front of this committee and get that added. So you can't start using the kitchen until that happens.
Okay, thank you.
And then as far as the description goes, she also wanted to add the outdoor patio. I think that's also in your packet already. There was some discrepancy with the LLC. The LLC initially that she had signed up for did belong to someone else. That was why it got deferred the last time the committee met on this application. It looks like that has been rectified at this point. And then there are some police department issues. I know there's a little bit of a history with this property, so I'm going to let Sergeant Tillman discuss that specifically, but that's all I have on my end.
Thank you.
I wasn't at the Good Neighbors meeting because I wasn't in this position at the time of this one, but Sergeant McGath was there, and it's the same stuff that I would have said. Huge history of loitering after hours, after the bar closes. Parking is a huge issue in that area. There's no place there other than on-street parking. So what happens most of the time is that people end up parking across the street at the gas station, subway, attached to the gas station, and or those, which obviously they ends up causing issues over there as well, because obviously you don't want all those people parking a lot for various reasons. And then it causes traffic concerns as well after hours when all those people are exiting the bar and crossing the street. So, you know, wave of people going across the street to get over there where they shouldn't in the first place. So they're going over there, and then obviously nothing to do specifically with Miss Evans, obviously, but we had the homicide there on January of 2023, January 1st of last year, involving some patrons that were there and some of the people that were involved in or staying in the apartment building adjacent to there as well. That was a problem. And then obviously there's, even on the back side, you have Racine Street. There's really no place to park over there either. I'm sorry, where was the patio supposedly?
Right in the front, so where the sidewalk area is, there's
Oh,
a
just
little
piece
half
there
wall.
that's bricked off right there?
Mhm.
Okay.
So-
So that's nothing new that's been there.
So if that portion of the patio is included, obviously drinks can be allowed out there. Not enclosed, it has like a half wall, so it's sort of enclosed.
So all in all, the largest issue is the parking issue. Always been an issue over there. And then the lawyer after the bar itself. There's really no place for them to kind of blow other than across the street to get their vehicle and all that stuff. So.
Comments, questions?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Kinda hesitant about this, but, so when this place first opened, asked for a bar, I was worried about it, but they had the parking lot across the street where the gas station is that they could park in. That's no longer available. I've gotten complaints from the businesses, Martino's has a sign, anyone parked there after 11 o'clock will be towed. And there is no parking, but I've been known, so on the other hand though, Miss Evans bought the building. So before people rented the building, and I've done this before, and I guess I could support this just because if anything happens, it's on her, it's on Miss Evans and nobody else. But we'll wait for everyone else's comments and see.
Any other comments, questions, concerns? Alder Peterson?
Just curious how you plan to address the issues the police officer and the police department stated about issues with loitering after hours and parking issues. I mean, But what do you
Well, with
expect
the
to attract,
learning-
on any given night, what would be a high number for you, what you would anticipate for people?
Well, I don't want it to be a bar, I want it to be a lounge, so it will be, I know it hold like 100-some people, but it will be a lot of seating in there. So of course, it will not be having 100-something people. I have reached out to several armed security companies that I will be contracted with, and as well as with parking, it is public parking up the street, in Uptown, as well as, on 13th and Washington Avenue.
Anyone else have any comments?
What are you planning your hours? What are your hours going to be?
From 4 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Thank you. So the first thing I wanted to address is, I know that it was discussed, your lack of experience. To me, that's not even a factor. Somebody has to start somewhere, and so that doesn't concern me so much. So what I look for, so that part I just don't even emphasize on, but I look for what is it, how you address the questions. Because honestly, this, a business proposal, you come in before us, it's, the onus is on you. It's not up to the city to make it successful. It's not for the city to, then manage, maybe the negative that may come for it, but it ends up becoming an onus, just like it was at the last establishment, where we, had some overflow and then issues of lawyering. So I was really hoping to see that addressed in your business package. So, as you know, alcohol is a privilege that carries great responsibility. And, I was hoping to see, the way that, some of these were answered in here, such as, how will the establishment affect the quality of life for the citizens of Racine? And you mentioned that your establishment is not going to affect the quality of life for the Racine citizens because you plan for it to improve the citizens' quality of life by bringing an upscale establishment to that area that will cater to, I think it's kind of cut off on the scan, an older crowd, I think, which you've addressed with us tonight. And maybe a network event is what it's supposed to say, but again, it was cut off. I'm not sure if that truly answers the question. And, which you're here before us, so you can elaborate, and I will absorb, your answer this evening. But I really believe it should have a concrete proposal to address the neighborhood concerns, a security plan, the parking lot, which you're referring to a couple blocks away, is, where an incident had occurred. And what we have found in the past with businesses, as soon as the patrons are out the door, it's kind of one of these things. So I would hope, as somebody trying to invest in the area, that you would have researched the area and understand what's the pulse of concerns in the area. And that's what I was hoping to see. I think it does address, let me see, quality of life, about handling crowds. Then I want to get on to the litter and the garbage as well. But is there a way that you plan to roll out, because of the lack of parking? I know in your application it said that roughly about 50 to 70 at max. I know you said capacity's at 100, but you're not seeing it hit that capacity, or not visioning that, just because of the type of establishment you want to roll out. But that wouldn't accommodate the parking up front, so it's going to accommodate the parking that shoots away from it in those other areas, which it's no longer your line of sight anymore. How do you hope to manage that, or address concerns that would come with that?
How do I hope to manage, parking that's out of my line of sight?
Yeah.
I mean, if I have to, as a management, I would do everything that I have to. If I have to walk up the street and make sure everybody is going to their cars and making sure that they're leaving in a reasonable time, and if I have to make sure that they're parking where it's parking allowed, then that's what I will have to do.
An honorable statement for sure. You know, you manage another building, and sometimes you can't be at too many places at once. You know, there's one of you, there's not multiple of you, and, you know, I'm not sure, how many people would.
No, it's not, but I, have adequate, I don't work, I'm a business owner. That's the reason why I'm a business owner, because I don't no longer want to work, and I have several management staff that runs my group homes on a day-to-day basis.
Understood. Hopefully, you know, it's safety, your safety is a concern. You're part of the community too, you know, it's definitely a concern. As for the formal, littering management, you know, I think you just said, that you were gonna make sure that everybody picks up after themselves. That is not exactly how you said it, I'm just summarizing it. And, you know, I was hoping to see a little bit better of a management plan to address the cleaning up,
Well, I do own the building, so I want my building to be in the best upkeep. So if Trans is not taking care of my business, of course, I'm going to take care of it, because like I said, I want my business to be in the best upkeep.
of that. I would love to have seen more of that, you know, written, because I can only go off of what you wrote, right? So this is where I'm formulating my thoughts around, you know, it's your business plan. I'm here to absorb it.
Mhm.
And, we know from, any type of establishment, you know, in Racine, it's not only what happens inside, it's what's happening outside. And that's where deterioration and, the impact comes, is when you start seeing how things look, you know, on the outside. So, I don't know if anybody else has some additional questions. If not, I do just have one more.
Please. Oh,
I just wanted to say, no, I do not want you walking outside to police this. This happened at another establishment, and the owner's husband was killed.
No, if there's fight or anything going on.
But you don't know about walking across the street, what can escalate. That is, we do not want to see your safety in jeopardy, you know, in jeopardy here, so. I mean, my thing is, you know, you'd call the police or something. I just don't advocate walking out there trying to de-escalate anything.
No, I didn't say that I would walk out to de-escalate.
Oh, well, you said you'd walk out and make sure, right, but you don't know what's gonna happen. That's what, I just wanted to make it clear to you. I just don't want your safety in jeopardy.
Right.
Yeah, thank you. The one thing, just as a suggestion, and hopefully through this process, you've already, have talked with the health department, if you wanna move forward with the kitchen. You know, I'm not looking at this, you did cross that out, so I don't have that in mind right now, and I won't consider it for later. But I just remember working with other businesses who were in hopes to bring it, just like yourself, bring the kitchen later. And, they then proceeded later on, and they found out, you know, with the requirements that our health department puts on it, whatever that quote you have, if you were to show our health department, see if it aligns, because, I once saw them bump it up to 6 figures. So, you know, please keep that in mind, as you proceed. So, I'm all for people who, entrepreneurs and somebody who wants to invest in the community. It's an honorable position to be at. It says something how you feel about the community. I think, you know, my role when I look at this is I have to look at what our past experiences have been in that area. How does your business plan fit exactly in that spot? I mean, it could be anywhere in the city, but in that particular spot, to me, I think that location, it still has a wound in that location. I don't know if proper scar tissue has formed yet in it, because a family was completely shattered apart and our community was shattered apart. So my hopes when I saw an application for that site, you know, not against you or your plan, it's just, it does not fit the area to me. It's just not strong enough. I don't think it addresses the wound in the area. It's it's an honorable thing, or it's something that can get brought forward maybe in another spot without as much hesitation. You know, I wouldn't even blink an eye over it maybe, because, you know, it's nice. They offer a place for 30 plus over. That's me. I could come right on in. So, those are just my thoughts about it.
Thank you, Alder Capri. Any other questions, discussion, concern? Well, Attorney Arn?
Yes, so just, sorry, going back to the kitchen question, I just wanna make sure. I did check with the building department. It looks like on the layout, on the map, I'm not sure if there's a door or, a wall that separates the kitchen from the rest of the premise, or is it just kind of open?
It's a wall and a door.
Okay. I would have to double check with the building department to see if she could still operate the bar area and get an occupancy permit for that, even though the other part of the building, which is in the same area sort of, is being remodeled. So that's the question I don't know at this time. If it's the case that she can't get an occupancy permit while the kitchen is being remodeled, then she's looking at opening within 3 to 6 months, like she said, or longer than that. If, however, she can get an occupancy permit before then, while remodeling the kitchen, it would be open. So just to give that information to the committee, if that makes a difference in terms of the conditional grant of opening.
Alder Capri?
Just a question in regards to that. Wouldn't it be appropriate if this were to get approved, we approve her application this evening? And because it sounds like she doesn't have a timeline per se, she has a duration of time for remodeling, but maybe a year from now she does the kitchen, or 2 years from now, that then could we address whether she has to shut down during those 3 to 6 months of renovation?
No, so you're asking if we can sort of give her a license, let her try it, and then take it back?
Well, no, if she even explores the whole kitchen option. It sounds like it was part of the proposal. It's like, I don't even want to think about the kitchen in this proposal, I guess, is what I'm saying. So,
Sorry, I'm just in contact with the building department, see if I can get a more concrete answer.
I will point out while Attorney Arn is doing that because the business is not operational now, a permit approval tonight would be conditional upon your opening in 6 months.
From the date of the common council.
From the, yes, of course, from the date of the common council. Because from tonight, if approved, it then goes to the common council. It has to get on their agenda.
and you can open up.
Hmm?
That day 6 months later, you don't have to wait 6 months.
So if within that 6-month time period, you don't get an extension and it's not open, the license automatically goes back to the city. You would just then have to reapply.
Do we want to wait till you hear from that thing and?
They would have to take a look at the premises. They're unable to give me a definitive answer without taking a look at.
It still boils down to whether or not she gets occupancy, so that's on them.
Mm-hmm, right.
That's why it would be conditional.
So that's all conditional on.
Yes, sir.
I just gotta say, I did go in there, the back part where they wanna put the kitchen is closed, it's got its own little room. Just wanted to say that, it's way in the back part of the place, and, I mean, I think if they were to do a kitchen, they could put something and block that in front of that area.
Okay.
You gotta get an occupancy.
Yeah,
I
so,
know.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I was interpreting what, attorney was saying in relation to occupancy for a restaurant, but it's just occupancy period, but it can be part of the conditions.
okay. So before I ask for a motion, I want to clarify that whatever happens, if approved tonight, it's conditional that you have to be open in 6 months or reverts back to what Attorney Arnold said. Everybody understand? Okay. Are there any other questions, comments? Seeing none, I'm looking for a motion and a second.
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Well, I think the ayes have it, motion passes, and again, just to reiterate, so you understand, that this is conditional based on you opening the bar park in 6 months. And then the next step is the city council. Well, thank you and good luck.
Thank you, have a great evening.
Thanks, you also.
Okay, go to common council next week.
Okay.
Thank you. So our next item is item number 005424. Subject communication sponsored by myself on behalf of the city clerk's office, submitting a new application for a public dance hall license, Zeros LLC DBA Zeros LLC, which is located at 216 6th Street, Susan Garden, Agent, First District. May the applicant please come up. Thank you. Attorney Arden, would you please swear the applicant in?
Yes, thank you. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Garden, you're here to explain to us tonight, what you would do with the license. Tell us a little bit, pretty much the same question from the last person, your experience, how it serves the community. What would you like to do?
We have 2 private rooms upstairs in Bureau, and we would like to have an event where we could have a band come in, play music. We wouldn't do anything past midnight though, because I want to cause issues with any of our neighbors.
Yeah, you do have neighbors and apartments, and they're close by, I know. Okay.
Have anything planned, just, and
Okay, you're the operator of the bar also, right? Okay, so that answered my questions about experience. Is there anything from the Good Neighbor report?
There's no good neighbors.
Okay. Do you have any comments, Attorney Laura?
I don't have anything to add.
Okay. Yes,
I
sir.
just gotta ask, so if you're gonna have an event upstairs, I know you got the restaurant downstairs, how do you think people coming in there to eat would be with loud music upstairs? That's my,
I wouldn't like it too much, so we have one of the rooms close off, close the door, allow the sound down. To midnight,
what are your hours right now?
4:30 to 9, Tuesday through
No, I mean, rephrase that. What are the hours on your license?
till 2 a.m. But we've never been.
I'm just worried, I know what you're trying to do there, and I'm concerned that, you know, loud music, you might scare what you're trying to create.
I don't want to do that. If we ever have an event where we want to have a band,
Okay.
Alder Peterson, did you have your, Alder Craig?
Yeah, can you tell me what is, the legal capacity limit for that space?
behind the other room, I'm sorry, 45, the other room, 29, downstairs, 40.
That's relatively a small-ish type.
Downstairs.
No, upstairs, because you're only wanting to use one room at a time, because they don't accordion and open up until one.
They do, there's a place in the middle with bathroom.
So you'll have potential to have 60 or 70 some? if
Yeah,
you-
but
I'm assuming with this type of request, the fire department do an inspection to make sure they have correct installation or, fire suppression system in place?
we have that, we just had this coming to do our follow-up.
That's just not, were you utilizing the upstairs prior? Okay, so they do the whole.
Yeah, we just had our 6-month report and everything checked out. Fire suppression system.
I'm so sorry we have to ask so many questions, and you're here struggling with your voice. Is there any additional security or anything that's gonna happen, security cameras or something upstairs?
Do we have a camera?
Upstairs?
Yes.
In both
I
spaces?
just, the bigger room by the bar, we have a camera.
Will you be adding any?
Yes, on the other side, the old big room. Yes, we would put it on the other side as well.
That surely would be helpful,
Yes.
not only for yourself, for safety measures, if anything were to come up. for all the parties involved to address things.
Any other questions, concerns, discussion? Well, seeing none, I'm looking for a motion and a second.
Move to approve?
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Good luck and get your voice back. Thank you.
Doesn't get voted on, it's
Again,
voted
yes.
on at the meeting next
Next week,
Tuesday,
yeah.
so.
All you're doing is that.
No, unless you want to.
Thank you very much.
The next item is item 0076-24, communication sponsored by myself on behalf of the City Clerk's Office, submitting a change of ownership application for a Class B retail permitted malt beverage and intoxicating liquor license for Caleb's Corner LLC, DBA George's Encore, which is located at 1201 North Main Street, Racine, Wisconsin, 53402. Caleb Robinson, Agent, 4th District. Thank you for coming forward, sir. Attorney Arn will now swear you in.
Can you raise your right hand? Thank you. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Again, Mr. Robinson, please share with us your experience, what you plan, how your business will support the community, your experience you have. What would you do with the license, I guess is a good
Okay.
way to say it.
So in general, my plan is, taking over George's, but now we're gonna call it George's Encore, so we're bringing it back. So do a lot of the same, we wanna do a live music venue, we also wanna, kind of grow the kitchen a little bit, like more of a food offering, kind of create a neighborhood bar where people can come hang out. Also a good spot for local bands to play, have a good time. That's kind of our goal for the establishment. My experience, ran Smoked in the Water for 12 years, where we have a Class B, a small one, where we sell beer, but have experience with crowds, patrons, bands, and just the overall environment of the atmosphere, so still fairly confident in being able to do the spot.
Okay. Good neighbors report, is there any items you'd like to share with us?
Sure. So, as Mr. Robinson indicated, he has plenty of experience at Smoked on the Water. He's always worked well with city staff. There's never been a history of issues or anything like that. So we don't have any concerns about that. And then the other thing he highlighted is he is enlarging the kitchen. So he is working with both the health and the building department to obtain the proper permit. He might also have to get approval from the Planning, Heritage, and Design Commission for the smoker that he intends to use. So he knows all about that and has, or is getting the process started. But he does hope to start opening and operating within the end of February. And then it looks like the premise description was amended. He initially had the second floor, that's a residential property, that's actually not included as part of the premises. So it would just be the first floor, basement, storage, and outdoor patio to the east of the building. And he did extend his hours, explaining that he normally will not be open that late until bar time. However, he does want the ability and the flexibility to accommodate special events on occasion. The amendment that's in your packet there. Other than that, I have nothing else to highlight.
Thank you. Officer Tillman, do you have any?
Just, on a positive note, there's, Mr. Robinson, all the, interactions with him have been positive that I've ever had with him. Include when I used to do security at Festival Hall and Smoked on the Water is right next door there. I don't know if there were ever any issues. Talked to him first. Negative issues that I've.
Thank you. Is it operational now? Is the building in operation?
No.
Okay, so it would, still have to be conditional, like we were discussing before, because it's not operational now, but as long as you're open in February, it's not an issue. I just need to point that out to you.
Yeah, no, we're going through all the permits and everything, so I know,
Gotcha.
waiting for all those.
Look, just want to make sure everything is clear and we're consistent. Yes, sir.
Yes, I just wanted, I met Mr. Mr. Robinson. Well, 20-odd years ago, when he first started with his hot dog cart downtown, and he persevered through a lot of issues from the city, and he's grown over the years, and Smoked on the Water is a great asset. Caleb loves to do music, and George's used to be the music spot, and I think he'll probably get that back, so I would wholeheartedly support this license.
Anyone else? Thank you, sir. Alder Peterson, Alder Capri.
Questions? First of all, clever twist on the name.
Thank you.
That was good. It really honors the history, and then it just brings the freshness in, so that was clever. And Alder Code did just touch on this, but I'm glad that you are respecting that bar and the history of it really was about the live music, and it's something you do quite well at Smoked on the Water. My curiosity, though, because you run an outdoor establishment, so now here we are, we're going indoor with some confines of walls. So I know you can't 100% anticipate your unknowns, but have you thought about that and the different variances that are now going to come into play? People have a way to disperse, and it's in an outdoor space, right? Now everybody's closer, and human behavior, you know, there's a different element to the closer we are, how we react amongst each other, and then you throw liquor in the mix of it. So talk to me a little bit when you thought about taking this on.
Yeah, so, good questions, good points. So in regards to, like, George's as a whole, actually last year I did work there in bartend as well, so I do have experience with kind of like what it's usually like there on both busy nights and kind of just normal nights. So, one thing I like about George's is it's a little bit of an older crowd, I would say, and kind of almost like a Cheers type bar a lot of times, where they're just people just relaxing, and more like good vibes. So I kind of want to embrace that and grow that. So that's kind of my hope and effort that we'll put in there. As far as like monitoring, I know we're going to be well staffed up. I have a very capable and exciting bar manager as well, so I'm excited about that. So a lot of times I will be more free to kind of mingle and keep an eye on things, which is kind of where, personally, I think where Smoked on the Water kind of is like more like relaxing and things like that, just because I'm always eyes on the place and kind of walk around. So I kind of want to incorporate that as well. And then I think with me monitoring the crowd and our target market, I really don't think we're going to have too many issues for that, but I'm ready for it too if it happens.
So that does spark a question, maybe you've addressed it, sorry if I missed it. So are you still going to balance the two?
That's the goal. That's the plan.
Okay, but it sounds like they each have their own identity, so.
I think the music overlaps a lot, and actually our crowds overlap a lot. So I know for like Smoked, on Saturday nights we have bands till 9 is our latest one. And for George's Encore, the plan is running like 8 to 11 for our bands. So,
I think your target audience, you say, is roughly music-loving individuals 40 and older, but I think I've seen a lot younger too, being able to occupy, and you have been family-friendly out at your Smoked on the Water.
yeah, correct.
So I do see, you know, I'm seeing that as a different identity, right? So,
I would agree, yeah. I think it's a lot of the same crowd, but you just leave the kids at home.
Parents always had that option. Okay. So it sounds like a lot of it's the same, besides, I know you're wanting to focus on barbecue. I think back before, George's, when they offered some food prior, it was some great Middle Eastern delish, so I consider some nice vegan options. It'll make a few of us happy.
Well, yeah, I have to because, well, my girlfriend's a vegetarian, so, not a vegan, but
Yeah.
I have to, she'll get mad at me if we don't have anything for her, so. Gotta make
That
sure
was
we do
just a little selfish thing to throw out there, yeah.
Thank you.
Just wanted to say, and as you gonna be your manager, and how long have you been managing different things?
I worked at Joey Gardner for 3.5 years. The last maybe almost 3, I managed it. And then prior to that, I was managing Main Hub for 2.5 years for that.
You got someone that'll be there with the experience and stuff, I just want people to know that also. Okay.
Any other discussion? Well, seeing none, I'm looking for a motion and a second.
To approve.
I have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Our next item is item number 0081-24, communication sponsored by myself for an application for a change of agent with a Class B fermented malt beverage and intoxicating liquor license for Green Golf Partners LLC, DBA Johnson Park Golf Course, located at 6200 North Western Avenue. Thank you, Timothy, for coming forward. You're the agent, 6th District. Attorney Arn, would you please swear the gentleman in?
Thank you. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Mr. Burkhart, could you please same question, basically, explain what you would do, and I realize your situation is a little bit different than the existing establishment, but help us out here, but
I'm the general manager at Johnson Park Golf Course. Basically what we're trying to do with Troon Golf Management Company, there was a gentleman that worked there before my time, a couple of years, and basically we're just changing the agent, which would be me, and I have a restaurant manager and a bar manager, so I oversee the whole entire operation. They just wanted me to get my name on the license and go from there, so this is kind of new to me, but I've been going through the process, what I need to do, fill out the applications and do what needs to be done.
yeah, but you do have the bar experience and
Yes.
the general day-to-day operation side of
I've
it.
been a general manager for 24 years in the golf business. I've been at high-end, I've been at some smaller courses. I basically oversee it, you know, I have the experience, if I have to go behind the bar and do what I need to do. I hire smart, I hire good people to do that job.
Smart.
Yep.
Attorney Arn, is there anything you need to add?
Yeah.
Officer Tillman? Committee?
To approve.
That was my, I'm just kidding. Is there a second?
I'm saying, I gotta abstain, I work for the guy, so.
Thank you.
I got no-
Alderman Capri, help me
Well,
out.
I will second so we can have discussion on the motion, so
Okay.
second.
I have a motion and a second. Alderman Capri, you mentioned discussion.
Yeah, just real quick, so just as we were talking, you started off by saying you were the general manager, but as you got to talking, I started to think, are you a new general manager to this establishment?
Yes, I've been there now, it'll be a year come March.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Different gentleman on the form or whatever, and they wanted to change that, because he's.
Yeah, you said that, but I didn't know if there was a shifting of roles, so I didn't realize you were just taking that position over. Okay.
Any other discussion? Thank you. Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
No opposed then, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you
Good
very
luck,
much.
sir, in your new role, change your role.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. You work,
Come out and see us. Don't come with him.
I worked down at Washington Park, so he's the overall.
we'll stop out there
Please
one
do,
day.
sir.
Okay. All right, next I'll point out that we're going to take up item number 0092-24 and 0093-24 together. We're to call in any establishments from the police report, we will take vote on the establishments to call in for a formal expression, and we will need a separate vote to recommend for approval for the called-in items that make, to go to council. All clear to everybody? Okay, first item is 0092-24. The subject communication sponsored by myself, Alder Pete, on behalf of the City of Racine Police Department for the license premises report. Officer Tillman?
There's nothing major, that stuck out other than, possible, Shots fired called at Duo Bar and Grill, but it ended up being, once officers arrived, there was no evidence of any shots being fired, but, there was a fight of some sort. Several, building checks for the chart room. I think one of them was related to a vehicle being in the parking lot one night, but nothing major other than that.
Okay. Thank you. Item 9324, subject communication by myself requesting any consideration, any other formal expression of concern or other actions pursuant to the police report. And I do have one. Does anyone else have anything? Well, at this time, is there anyone, there's some people here that would like to speak to an item, I understand. Double vision.
So, that would be at the discretion of the chair if they wanted to speak generally on items on the licensed premise report. I believe double vision is on there with respect to January 6th, officers initiated extra attention to the area with no incidents to report. If they want to speak to that specific incident, then obviously the chair can allow that.
Okay.
Otherwise, if there's a specific call-in in the future, we could list double vision as a specific item, but they're not being called in.
Okay. Is there, I would say, first of all, is there anyone here to speak on that particular establishment? Okay, as Attorney Earn pointed out, at this point, I can allow 2 minutes so that we can see if there is information that we need to go forward with a concern, expression of concern. So if you could, I appreciate you taking time out to come. So if you would come up for a couple of minutes so that we can see if we need to go further, I think that would be the approach that we'll take this evening. So please keep it to 2 minutes, and I don't have names here, so you're the brave, sir.
I'm Jason Carr, I wrote down on the paper.
Okay, Jason, please come up. Thank you. And like I said, please keep it to 2 minutes. So this is more of an investigative stage at this point. Attorney Arndt, does he need to be sworn in?
Couldn't hurt. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Please share with us your concerns.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I've spoken to some of you outside of here, and I appreciate you listening to me then too. Since the last time I've had to come here and speak about this bar, I've been violently attacked 3 times. My windows have been smashed in my house. Every single day, my son is called horrible names when I take him to school by the women outside smoking cigarettes. The bar does not close. I have video evidence and picture evidence to back up everything I'm saying. Just Friday,
I'm listening.
I was humiliated while 3 police officers watched the owner of the bar call me a homosexual and a faggot and wish me dead, and he didn't get a ticket. The owner of the bar has sent people to attack me. They've slashed all the tires in my truck. They've broken windows out front of my house, and when I call the police, which is sometimes 3 days a week, because I have 2 kids that need to go to school and sleep, the bar is on the corner. I'm on the opposite corner. They're not parking at the bar. They're parking down here. They're partying in my yard. They're urinating in bottles and throwing it at my house. They scream, go to a meeting about it. The last meeting I was here and I spoke, the owner of the bar played the meeting on Facebook, and I got a visit from the leaders of the High Riders, which I have on video, which I was threatened because I tattled on them. I've been threatened in more ways than one. I've had to physically assault a man that crashed into my truck while the owner of the bar is present for all this, and I have evidence proving it all. They crashed in the back of my truck, called the police. Police take forever to get there because they're busy or they're undermanned. The guy gets mad, follows me in my house. I gotta punch him out. I got attacked at Aldi's. The owner of the bar was standing there pointing. 2 guys come out of the bar. The police officers say that there's no saying he sent them or whatnot, but, you know, Currently, right now, my neighborhood looks like a slum. There's smashed bottles, smashed glass every day. Our whole entire neighborhood lives in fear.
Okay. I think you painted a somewhat bleak, but a pretty good picture, very descriptive. And I appreciate that, and I'd like to, at this point, find out what the comments from the committee.
I think because it's not an agenda item?
Right.
Yeah. I won't
Well,
be
we
able
could
to-
move forward from that part, but.
You guys are having trouble with the TV turning
It'll
on?
shut off once or twice, I was just putting a ticket and it can wait till tomorrow.
Okay, you guys are fine with that? Okay.
Thank you.
Paula Peterson?
If there's any video stuff, if you have video, I mean, obviously that will, go a long way towards, helping whatever decision might be made going forward. So I don't know if, any,
I would like,
were you gonna say something?
yeah, recommendation, if all this is founding, I mean, you've been working with the police department?
They do not do anything. When there's a violent fight, and just, like I said, just on Friday, it started with two gentlemen yelling, Vice Lord, I'll shoot you," to each other in front of my neighbor's house. And when I called the police, they came, one guy went in the bar and the other guy took off. The owner of the bar helps people get away and all that stuff. Whatever. The police came, well, they're dispersed now. So I went outside to make sure I get these cards every time like I was told to, and take video and stuff. And the owner was irate, peeled off around the corner, came up behind the police and sat there and insulted me, my children, threatened me and my family, and they did nothing. They told me not to respond and just stand there and take it. I got upset and basically told them, kiss my rear, that they don't have to live here and they don't care, and I went in my house upset. And this always happens, that nobody's being ticketed. They won't even go to the bar and do anything, and they're driving up our sidewalks. The owner of the bar is driving up our sidewalks. He's been outside throwing things. Like I said, I had to replace $1,000 worth of tires on my vehicle, and I have video of the people doing it and going to the bar, but the police tell me, well, just because they go to the bar doesn't mean it's because of the bar. And then the women in the morning, the bar doesn't close. I have video evidence too, that the bar is still open at 3, 3:30, 4 in the morning.
Chairman Pete?
Yes.
I would feel uncomfortable, discussing like public safety things, just because of the role we have here.
Okay,
So
okay.
I would think maybe that if this is
All right.
something that affects the liquor license at some point,
That's what
I'd be happy to.
Well, they're not staying on the property. They're
Okay.
parking.
All right, sir, I appreciate it, but as, Alder Caprian pointed out, we appreciate what you said, but I think we really appreciate it, but I think we need to stop it here and then we'll
Yes, sir.
take it, see what we can do further. We'll discuss it further, but thank you.
I think,
Do you have complaint numbers with you?
I have complaint numbers, yes, I do.
I'll get them from you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Stuff about the videos, it's not in detail. You guys gave me a link last time to send my videos in,
Okay,
and the link would only allow me to send one, and it was broken. And it took us a year, and we had to call the mayor's office just to get movement, and I believe I sent you videos. So you do have some videos, if you still have them, I still
Probably
do.
not.
But I did send you videos of
okay,
violence.
all right, thank you, sir,
Thank you, I appreciate
Thank
you
you.
guys listening and
You're
hearing
welcome.
me.
and good luck.
If the committee wanted to, perhaps ask the police department to work with this individual, and if the police department has any follow-ups or reports or findings, that could be on the next license department's report. This committee could then take that item up and create a separate item or call the bar owner if appropriate.
I think that's a good course of action. How do you gentlemen feel? And lady?
Thank you. The only thing that I would add, if that is the direction that this committee goes, that we work off of, from the last point, because we were updated from, I believe, the sergeant at the time. So if there's anything substantiated after that point, I'd rather not go back in history. If we're looking at stuff that is from the past that already hasn't been investigated, look at from the point when that stopped until present day.
Okay,
Because we've already received an update from the sergeant. Past incidences.
Alder Peterson?
I mean, other than the police department getting back to us on any of the complaints that he is expressing to you and somehow forwarding that to us, so we have, because right now, all we have is what he said, and then we have here. That's all we can go off of. So I think before we take any action, we need a little more follow-up by the police department, some information and possibly a little bit more oversight.
Okay. So then there's nothing, that we should do at this point then. Okay, well, Officer Tillman will get back with us after he does his investigations. Okay. And again, thanks, sir, and good luck. Okay, we have already covered, Officer Tillman said nothing particularly stuck out. Does the committee have any other questions about the police report?
Move to receive and file 0092-24 and 0093-24.
Have a motion? And a-
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The meeting is now adjourned. And thanks, everyone.